ESPN 95.3.
I feel like when it's time for me and Felipe to step out there on the field this coming Saturday, we'll be clicking on all levels. Me and Felipe, we got a real good connection. We do a good job of communicating in the backfield. I feel like it should be smooth. It should be a smooth game for me and Felipe.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday here on The Morning Rush, and I know many of you had a little beef yesterday in the fact that Rakeem Boyd opted out of the rest of this college football season. I know we'll take calls and texts all throughout the morning. Some will beef towards his decision. Some will be grateful for his time spent in Arkansas. Some will be somewhere in the middle of all that. But we're reacting to Rakeem Boyd's decision to opt out the rest of the remaining 2 regular season games, potentially the bowl game down the stretch. That's really where the majority of our conversation is headed this morning. Got some quick headlines we're going to get into as well. And we're going to discuss if this Arkansas-Missouri game has any impact on the SEC Coach of the Year. Some SEC Network analysts think it may decide the SEC Coach of the Year, and we will get to that audio coming up here on The Morning Rush. But really your reactions where we start here this morning. Tommy, just seeing this yesterday, I know we got some news. I got some intel late Monday night that this may or may not occur, and then I know you, I, and DeClay were discussing off air, hey, we're trying to verify this. We couldn't get it verified, so we didn't want to come out and say he's opted out. We finally got his release on social media yesterday that Rakeem Boyd has opted out the rest of this season.
So my reaction, is that what you're wanting?
Yeah.
You didn't really ask a question. All right, so I don't think it makes the difference in winning or losing against Bama, assuming you still play Bama in a week. I do think it could be the difference in beating Missouri. The problem now becomes, what if something happens to Treylon Smith, either through COVID protocol or through an injury? Now what do? So now you're decimated with depth at running back because you feel okay as long as Treylon Smith's there. You worried? I'm not worried about this thing going okay as long as Treylon's there. What happens if something happens to Treylon Smith? So that's my take this morning. That's my reaction to it. Rakeem's done his part. He's earned this right to choose what he wants to do. I think it puts the team and the coaches in a tough spot with likely 3 games to go. So I don't think it's fair to your teammates to do this. I don't care if it's Rakeem. This isn't a shot at Rakeem Boyd. I don't like it with any players opting out under these circumstances or any circumstances at this point in the season. It doesn't look right to me, but I'm a little more old school about it. I think my dad was one of these, you start a season, you finish a season. If you don't ever quit on anything. And I'm not saying he's quit, but you didn't finish the season with your teammates, and I don't like that part about it, not just with Rakeem, with any of these guys that are opting out late in the year. I get why they're doing it. They got a professional career to continue, the ups and downs of COVID, all of those things. But I don't like the way it feels.
Because what did he cite in his statement? His
professional career.
Correct. He didn't cite COVID in it, no. So that would lead me to believe that is more of an impact. And I got a number of different questions arose when I finally saw this release yesterday. Was Treylon Smith going to be the starter this week? Did Rakeem feel like he wasn't going to get the playing time? And you mentioned the depth. The depth is a massive concern like you were talking about. And here's the deal. Even with Treylon Smith back there, you're still not A-OK. They've had one good game with Treylon Smith solo, and that was Auburn. And that's where he just stood out and was a stud. Outside of that, they were terrible against LSU running the football. They didn't do anything. T.J. Hammonds spelled Treylon a little bit, but And I know that's not all on Traylon Smith. The offensive line didn't get a push. He didn't have great blocking from the wide receivers in that football game. But this is going to be a problem the remaining 2, potentially 3 games running the football. Traylon Smith has been good at spurts this season, and you love him coming in and providing a spark, but he's not an every down back. If you have 2 eyes, you can see that. It's just not. He comes across as a Felix Jones better as a secondary guy. Monte Spivey already opted out. Dominique Johnson's still a true freshman. You don't know what you have with him. Josh Oglesby's out for the year. I mean, you do not have anything in the running back room right now.
So what happens when KJ Jefferson comes into the game? What does the offense do then at that point?
You think, are you talking about next year?
No, I'm talking about right now. Like if KJ Jefferson comes in and replaces Felipe Franks, what is the high likelihood of the next play being? A run play, right? So if something happened and Traylon Smith had to go out for a series or had to go out for a few plays, his helmet comes off, for God's sakes, and you just got to go out for a play. What do you think the next play's got to be? A pass, right? Now you feel like Kendall Briles is hamstring. Who are you going to hand the ball off to if Traylon Smith is there with confidence? Is the point I'm trying to make here. So now you become very predictable to your opponent. It's my point is if Traylon Smith's not out there, how confident is Kendall Briles going to be in dialing up a running back play? The quarterback, Felipe Franks, taking the snap and handing it off to a running back. You can probably take him out of the equation on many play calls moving forward, I would think, until you got 2 games to go, and one of them is against one of the best team in the country and one of the best defenses in the country in Alabama. You're not going to have a lot of confidence in handing it to a running back that's not named Traylon Smith at this point. So that's where this decision leaves Kendall Briles as an offensive coordinator from my top row seat.
And when you look at what T.J. Hammonds was able to do against LSU, had one deep pass play and then a good run or 2, but he didn't get a lot of carries in that football game. So I wonder if he's elevated. I mean, if you're T.J. Hammonds, you didn't do anything really under Brett Bielema. You didn't do anything under Chad Morris. I mean, you're on your 3rd coaching staff, dude. You have to step up. I mean, this is ripe for the taking. You have a great opportunity in practice this week to show this coaching staff, hey, it's my time to shine. I'm finally ready to step up. Traylon Smith at some point in the football game against Missouri is going to need a breather, is going to need a backup to come in and give him some tie off. So if you're T.J. Hammonds or if you're Dominique Johnson, the youngin', you got to take advantage of that.
Well, and all right, so let me go a step further with this conversation. And you put him in, but you're going to call a pass play. But now the middle linebacker for Alabama or Missouri or in a bowl is blitzing through. Pressure's coming from the outside edge somewhere, whatever. How confident are you in this, what would be now 3rd string, essentially, running back, to pick up that block, to chip him off and not get your quarterback killed? Because now you're putting your quarterback in a little more danger too. So there's a lot of things to me that this decision, complicates things for Kendall Briles. It's not just about who can run the ball. It's who can help protect your quarterback. There are so many things that go into taking a guy of Rakeem Boyd's quality out of the equation. It's not always just running the ball. There's a lot of protection issues that come along with this as well.
We want your takes this morning, 877-377-6963. We're going to hear from Traylon Smith. We're going to hear from Felipe Franks, what they had to say to the media last night. And again, we want to hear from you this morning on Rakeem Boyd's decision to opt out the remaining college football season.
Also, a basketball game that I know. We'll dive into that, and as Arkansas takes on UT Arlington, so we'll get to that, a late game tonight at 8 o'clock. Hey, Christmas shopping is here now, and Champion Cycling wants to help you get into the Christmas season. They're going to give away 2 great bikes. Just go to hitthatline.com. Champion Cycling and ESPN Arkansas has teamed up for 2 great Christmas gifts. One winner for a Specialized Elise road bike, and one winner that will win a Specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike. So 2 chances to win. All you have to do is go to hitthatline.com. Click on the buttons that says free bike and enter. You have until December the 18th, and we'll have 2 winners, 1 for each bike. So we'll pick a pair of winners. We'll announce them right here on the Morning Rush. The Champion Cycling Bike Giveaway made possible by Champion Cycling. You'll find them at 5500 Mazard Road and online at championcycling.com.
A couple guys on the SEC network think the Arkansas-Missouri game could decide the SEC Coach of the Year. We'll hop on that conversation next. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is former Razorback, wide receiver, and All-American track and field athlete Richard Smith, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Green RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business an excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, Phil Elson for CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville and Fayetteville. I love a good burger, and I love piping hot fries. And the best in the state for both are at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, no doubt about it. Chuck shoulders, fresh ground daily, always fresh. The fries always hot. Hand-spun shakes, and at both of their locations in Russellville and Fayetteville, limited seating capacity is open now at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Brandon gets the snap. He's going to keep the football into the end zone. Arkansas wins. The Razorbacks win. The Razorbacks have won the football game.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
I think Dan Mullen or Jimbo Fisher is probably going to end up winning the SEC Coach of the Year. But watching the SEC Network this week, they still think that Eli Drinkowitz and Sam Pittman are in contention for that award. I want to talk about that coming up here on the Morning Rush. We tell you about Wow World of Wireless.
Yeah, they've been in business for 25 years at World of Wireless. Hey, if you're seeing on your satellite right now, whether you got direct or dish, that you're going to lose some local channels, call Ben at World of Wireless and find out what the real story is here and how that works. He's going to be by here later this morning, and we're going to talk about that and get some commercial messages out there that help you understand it, because what's free to you over the air, these over-the-air channels, these local channels, those companies that own those local TV stations charge Dish and DirecTV big bucks every month to put those channels on Dish and Direct, and they keep going up and up and up on the price of that and making it more expensive every month for you to have, whether it's your cable or whether it's Dish or DirecTV. So understand, if you got questions about that, you're frustrated that it's always happening, there's solutions, there's antenna solutions, there's things that the staff at World of Wireless can help you with that. So call Ben with any questions. He'd love to talk to you. He called me yesterday and said, hey, we want to get this word out. So have him call us at 877-305-DISH with any concerns, any worries about these messages you're getting right now on your satellite or your cable plan. 877-305-DISH for Wow World of Wireless.
You know, Stench, I love what both of these coaches have done. I've been on the Sam Pittman bandwagon since the beginning. Eli Drinkowitz has really stepped it up. I love what they're doing offensively, defensively. You're right, Nick Bolton is the best and most exciting player to watch defensively in this conference, and it's not even close right now. And for me, I'm just waiting. Who's going to win this game in the end? It's really hard for me to cheer against Arkansas. Missouri's playing better right now. But this is all about the winner of this team. The coach will win the SEC Coach of the Year, or to me, what I like to call it, the Nick Saban Coach of the Year award, because he should be able to get it, but he can't because he's Nick Saban.
And that's kind of what I laid out. I just don't see Nick Saban getting that. But I do think, obviously, they're serious. It's going to be an uphill battle against a Dan Mullen at Florida that's got his team just headed to the SEC championship at this point, barring a collapse, and then Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, which have both performed under the expectations. But the reason I bring this up is because national people continuously bring this up. Yeah, and I wouldn't just throw paint at the wall and try and make conversation out of it if there wasn't still conversation to be said that SEC Coach of the Year is still up for grabs if you're Sam Pittman.
And I think it's their opinion. I think they're stretching the conversation too, because hey, they got an hour to fill and they need to make this conversation interesting. Do you think they really believe on the SEC Now crew that Sam Pittman or Eli Drinkowitz, someone outside of College Station, Gainesville, Florida, or perhaps Tuscaloosa, is going to win Coach of the Year? I don't think they truly deep down are convicted that that's going to happen either. I think they're trying to create interesting conversation on their show and good content. I think it's why you do it is because the job that Drinkwitz has done and Pittman has done is worth bringing up. And here's a good spot to spotlight, to highlight what these two first-year coaches have done in tough places in each division. Missouri's not I know they've won some divisions, but it's been a few years. There's a reason Barry Odom wasn't there, and he's now at Arkansas. That's a program that has struggled the last 5 years, let's just say. Arkansas, we know the story there. So what both of these coaches are doing is worthy of some notoriety, some getting your 2 minutes of fame, so to speak, in a segment. So I think that's exactly what they're doing is, giving these coaches their due. But I don't ultimately think very many people believe either of those coaches will ultimately win the award.
Here's what I would say about that. When it comes to 2020, this is the weirdest year in my entire life for a number of different reasons. And that kind of would lead me to believe that there might be some odd picks this year as far as that goes. And Mike, Missouri's won 4 games already this season. Arkansas has won 3. They won 4 games, or they won 6 games, I think, last year. This is a team that went 14-11 the past 2 seasons, while Arkansas went 4-20 the past 2 seasons. So if you just want to make the Eli Drinkwitz, Sam Pittman argument, Arkansas was picked 13th, Mizzou was picked 12th. Now, if they beat them and they can beat against Alabama, I just think that Pittman took over for Chad Morris. Eli Drinkwitz took over for Barry Odom. There's much differences as far as the stableness of programs is concerned. And, to me, I don't know if they're just generating content to generate content, because I truly believe – now, they might not be right, which I think you and I are both in agreement that even if Sam Pittman wins this game and competes against Alabama, he's not going to win SEC Coach of the Year. But I still think there's people out there nationally, college football-wise, that truly believe Sam Pittman deserves to win SEC Coach of the Year. Will it actually happen? Probably not. But there's different validation points that you can point to and definitely say, hey, this guy actually does deserve to be top 3, top 2 in line for the award.
Yeah, I mean, you make that case, but generally, coaches with losing records, and I'm going to presume that the regular season 10-game record can be at this point is 4-6. I think we would agree on that, right? Now, there's a miracle and somehow you get to 5-5 and you beat Alabama, assuming you play Alabama. Now, we know there's a possibility they could change that final game and you don't play Bama, but I think that's a long shot too. At 5-5, I still don't think that's enough of a record. Hey, if this award was handed out purely on what you were expected to do in the preseason and what you ended up doing and how far you exceeded that, then yeah, Sam Pittman and maybe Eli Drinkwitz, it's a tough decision on how to separate those two. We also kind of just cast aside, Dan Mullen and Jimbo Fisher were expected to be top 10. They're in the top 10. It's no big deal. Hey, it's not easy to get to the top 10 and be that kind of program that has those preseason expectations, and it's darn sure harder to stay there. So what those two guys do, let's not overly discount the job that Dan Mullen and Jimbo Fisher's done either. Just because you're expected to do it and you lived up to your expectations is no small feat either.
But what's hard? Let me ask you this. What's hard as we close down shop? What's harder, living up to expectations or outdoing the expectations set for you, especially since you look at where each program was last year?
That's a good question. Let's come back to that in a little while. Hey, we're brought to you by OG&E. OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. Trained crews will do an energy audit at no cost, and if your home qualifies, crews will come back and install measures like attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and a whole lot more. Call them toll-free, 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741 for OG&E's home weatherization program.
Coming up, we'll get into some quick-hit headlines, then we'll touch back on Rakeem Boyd. He has opted out the 2020 college football season. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, this is Bobby Carpenter with ESPN Radio, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool. And Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get Scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keep in the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Socks! What kind of shameful gift is that? Take pride in your generosity this year and give them the key to the promised land. Gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings. And when you spend $25 on gift cards before December 31st, you get $5 bonus on us. This is just one of the ways that Buffalo Wild Wings is getting you ready for the holiday season. If free wings doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So quit creating future laundry for your loved ones unless it's covered in wing sauce. Offer valid at participating locations. See Buffalo Wild Wings for details or visit online at buffalowildwings.com.
Roar! You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hey, Jenkins.
What's up?
You think you can eat more tacos than me?
Ty, I don't think I can. I know I can eat more tacos than you.
That sounds like the hammer's been laid down.
The hammer is laying down. Smackdown is ready to go.
Well, come by and see us at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, Fort Smith, for the Arkansas and Missouri game. What's going to happen then, man?
The taco eating contest is going down. I will win. Also going to be cheering on the Razorbacks to a victory against Missouri.
Come watch the entire game with us. Half price apps and tabs during the Hogs game at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Who wants tacos? I'm buying.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Going to throw, and it's complete. Touchdown, Arkansas to Woods. A fake to Smith. A little toss over the middle to Mike Woods, and the Hogs are on the board.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
Sam Pittman finally got his jukebox. It's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, he posted it on his social media, and we'll get to that. Another quick kitty headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, do you have sleep apnea? You got a CPAP machine. You keep it your bedside. You're always cleaning the hoses and the tubes and everything goes along with that, and you travel with it. That's a problem. Or you got a separate one just for that. It creates noise every night. Your wife's tired of it. Hey, if you know what I mean. If you got a CPAP and you definitely have sleep apnea, or maybe you just snore a lot and your wife is tired of that. Hey, Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you get rid of your CPAP if you have sleep apnea. And if you have heavy snoring, you may have sleep apnea, he can help you as well with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying, noisy, burdensome CPAP machine. Dr. Bo's been doing this for years. He's treated hundreds of patients just like you and helped them get rid of their CPAP machine. Hey, if this is for you, call Bo Sparkman today. Dr. Bo Sparkman, 479-785-1419. That's 785-1419, and get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Did you see Sam Pittman's cool new toy that he got, Tommy?
The jukebox? I didn't even know they made jukeboxes anymore.
I wasn't aware of that either.
I was out seeing a prospective client right before Thanksgiving, and they had like this old school, like one you'd have seen in the pizza parlor somewhere, 1988 jukebox in there. And it made me think of Sam Pittman. Anytime I see a jukebox now, I think of Sam Pittman. So maybe in our little small part of the world, he'll make jukeboxes cool again or more popular where you'll see them out. But you just don't see jukeboxes the way you used to.
I could see that happening. I think that would be pretty cool if he kind of brought those back.
Brought them back,
I mean, because there's no more popular man in Arkansas right now than Sam Pittman. Maybe Eric Musselman's up there, but definitely an impact at Sam Pittman as far as that is concerned. Speaking of Eric Musselman, Joe Lunardi now has Arkansas in his last four in his bracketology projections. And I saw this as well. 24/7 Sports college basketball analyst Jerry Meyer has Arkansas as his sleeper in the Southeastern Conference. They'll take on UT Arlington tonight. I will not be attending. I'll be watching on TV late tip-off. It's going to be hard. I think last year I would go to games after at 8 o'clock or whatever. I don't think I'm going to do.
You've learned your lesson, haven't you?
Well, and here's also there's no the reason I would go is because of the press conferences, right? And I wanted to hear what Muss said right off the bat. But they do those on Zoom, so I'm just going to stay home, watch it on SEC Network Plus, or listen to it here on ESPN Arkansas, and then just pop on Zoom and do the press conference that way.
Well, see, one of these days you'll get older and wiser, but mainly older for what I'm getting ready to say. And all I'm worried about today with this 8 o'clock start is, am I going to have time to fit a nap in today so I can actually stay up for the game?
For the game.
I mean, that's what I'm worried about is the 8 o'clock start. I'll see the first half. I better find a 30 or 45-minute nap somewhere. And if I get it in, the problem is if I get it too late, then I won't sleep after the game. So, if I have to take a nap, guys, in the middle of the day, just understand it's for work. So can I go home today for about a 30, 45-minute nap and call it work?
I think that because you got to stay up because you got to add the time on to tack it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Tack it on later.
All this work tonight's getting in the way of
sleep.
Whatever I'd be doing. Yeah, work's getting in the way of my sleep, so I need to sleep during work.
That makes sense. It's
somewhere to somebody that makes sense.
It's a catch-22 argument that I will completely understand as far as that goes. But that is
it only makes sense. Well, anyone listening at 6:30 in the morning has been up probably for a little while. They know what they feel our pain.
Mm-hmm. Pre-game tonight starts at 7:30 here on ESPN Arkansas, ESPN 99.5, and hitthatline.com.
I was out last night and was talking with a buddy of mine. We were driving back from a ball game we'd been at, and I saw, is the line kind of weird in this game? You may be getting ready to get to this, but I saw Nikki put something out, and we were reading the line that UT Arlington's favored in this game by 10?
Not 10.
Or is it 4? Or it's 4?
Three or four, depending on what Vegas serves you out, which I found interesting. I didn't know, and I was waiting on for Vegas to update and be a glitch. I can get back on there this morning, but
maybe it's not a glitch.
does that mean they have COVID issues? Arkansas?
No, Arkansas doesn't, because as we've been talking about, as Muss told us, and as Clay reconfirmed yesterday, Muss told us 2 weeks ago on the show, the vast majority of the team had already had it, so you can't get it again because you don't have to retest again. And Clay defined it as 11 of the 13 players. So
I think it's a glitch because I'm on my app right now, and it's got Arkansas 14 or 15-point favorites.
Or are they a sleeper mid-major? I don't know what their RPI and some of those other metrics might be.
They lost to they played Oklahoma State pretty tough earlier this year. I thought it was
Vegas doesn't make mistakes on this stuff, man.
Well, now it's got them 14, 15. Arkansas is 14.
Also, it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was thinking it was a glitch because I'm legitimately looking at like Bookmaker, Bovada, Bet365, Jazz Sports, BetDSI. They all have Arkansas now as a 14 or 15-point favorite.
So if you got in on Arkansas plus 10 or plus 4 rather last night,
you're gonna make
all right.
You're gonna make some money today. So
maybe it was Vegas. Of course, there's a lot of college basketball games, and they don't do nearly the deep dive on those as they do football games, because the number of dollars that come in on those are minimal in comparison. So their exposure is not as big. But
there was a flurry of Razorback fans that hopped on last night.
When
oh my gosh, they're not favored at home.
If you did, it was like getting to buy Amazon for $800 a share.
Yeah,
I remember when I didn't buy it for $800 a share because I thought it was overpriced. Now it's $3,100 a share.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Maybe higher than that. I'd have to look.
Jeez,
I don't own any of it, so I don't worry about it. But
these two teams last met in 2018. Arkansas's 8-0. I'm looking for Moses Moody to have his best game of the season tonight.
$3,200 a share.
Jeez, Louise. So that's a
So it'd be like buying Amazon for $800.
So that's a 400% increase. Start at 832. Yeah. Eesh.
So Arkansas getting points compared to the current line, that'd be a good deal.
Yeah, I would definitely bet on that. I hope tonight we see Moses Moody bust out. I hope they cover the spread, not the original one that we were talking about where they're underdogs, but they're 14, 15-point favorites tonight. I hope we see that. Any concern that Jalen Williams and Devo Davis didn't play last week? Or excuse me, last week. This to me is going to be a very compelling story to watch, and I was talking with Nick Mason about this, with the freshmen that are used to being one of the dudes, if not the dude, on the basketball team they participate in.
Well, they're all used to that. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. These are all 4-star guys. Moses being the best of the bunch. Moses has gotten his fair share of playing time to this point, but I think that
even the Walk-Ons were the man wherever they came from.
That's something to monitor, though, with those specific guys.
Are they disappointed they're not getting the minutes? Absolutely. The question is, how is that being communicated to them from the staff as to why they're not getting the minutes? Is it something to worry about? Perhaps. I mean, we thought maybe the rotation would be deeper because of COVID, but now that we know, 11 of the 13 have had COVID, that's not a concern for Musselman. So the 7 or 8-man rotation may live another year here at Arkansas. We know that is his style, right? He likes to play 7 or 8 guys the vast majority of the minutes. You may see a few guys get some mop-up minutes, but even in the game the other night against North Texas, only one guy off the bench, and that's Note, got what I call considerable minutes. The other 2 off the bench got 8 or less. So I don't, it'd be interesting tonight to see if the formula changes. Ty, I don't expect the formula to change a lot tonight. I think you're going to see about 8, maybe 9 guys play, and really only about 6, maybe 7 guys get more than 10 minutes.
It's going to be a discussion that we'll probably continuously have throughout the basketball season, how these young freshmen handle not playing what they were either told they were going to play or what they're expected to play this college basketball season. Got a text out of the 479, Tommy. He says he got in on Arlington by $200 bet that he put on tonight. So hopefully
for you.
that
Good
bet
luck.
ends up paying off for
Good luck, sir.
Text out of the 479 when it's that. Karen's hoping that Nick comes on during basketball season. Karen, we're hoping so too. Hopefully we'll get Nick back in here and we'll discuss some basketball. We're probably going to have to, continuously, football is going to be the majority of our conversation until we dive fully into basketball and when football's over. And speaking of football, Southern Miss is expected to hire Tulane offensive coordinator Will Hall. This is via Jeff Hager. So Brett Bielema looks like he's not getting that job.
Wait a minute. That was the head coach at Tulane, right? Is that what you just said?
No, the OC.
Yeah, exactly. So Brett Bielema lost out on the job at Southern Miss, not to the head coach at Tulane, the offensive coordinator that none of us have ever heard of at Tulane. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
It made me laugh last night when I saw this news that the OC at Tulane that none of us have you ever heard of this Hall fella before last night? I hadn't either.
But I don't.
And he gets the head coaching job.
I'm going to be honest. I don't pay attention to what happens in New Orleans. The New Orleans football team.
If I'm paying attention to New Orleans, it's to beignets and to black and red fish entrees.
There you go.
It's not to the OC at Tulane. So, but I don't know what happened here. Maybe Bielema didn't try to get this job with full Ernst. I don't know, but if you're evaluating resumes, I can't imagine Bielema's resume doesn't outweigh everything.
You would think that.
This Hall fellas.
But the Southern Miss Golden Eagles athletic department did not seem to come to grips with that. You mentioned COVID stuff with the Arkansas basketball team. Did you see the news that the CDC is shorting the quarantine after COVID exposure from 10 to 7 days? Do you think that affects college sports at all?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a 30% decrease in the amount of time. So that's on positive tests, right? So if you've had it.
It says COVID-19 exposure. You can decipher what that is.
I've had some friends go through this. We've had some here at work. In fact, we got a couple of our team members right now that don't work in the office with our crew here in the morning, but are on our team that are in the midst of it right now. And we're thinking of those folks that are battling COVID-19 and positive tests. It's a really strange thing. I mean, if you get it and you're positive, it's been a 10-day quarantine. 10 days you're out of work, you're out of everything. You're on the shelf. If you have been around somebody but you don't test positive, it's been 14 days. And that's been frustrating for some. I had a good friend of mine that tested positive but never had symptoms. Not one symptom, but had a positive test. They said, well, because you had no symptoms, you're 14 days. What? So, I mean, that's been frustrating for a lot of people to try to figure out the whys and what fors on this stuff.
That's all hieroglyphics when they start shouting out medical stuff.
Well, what it means is if you have a positive test and you get it whatever day one is, but it's on a Wednesday, you would go the following Wednesday would be 7, you would be 8, 9, 10 would be that Friday. Is that right? Yeah, 10 days from whenever you test positive before you can leave your house, before you can return to work, before you can do anything. So they're just shortening that to a week now if that's what they end up doing.
Last quick headline I want to get to. Jenkins, I want you to hop in on this. And Jerry Jones yesterday on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas compared the Cowboys' 7th-round pick quarterback to a practice squad receiver. He said the Broncos weren't any more challenged with Kendall Hinton at QB, who was the practice squad receiver for Denver, than the Cowboys were with Gucci Ben DiNucci. Your thoughts on Jerry's comments with DiNucci?
Is he lying?
I mean, I would think.
Well, I think Denver. I mean,
Denver was in a much worse position. I mean, starting a wide receiver, quarterback, or I don't even know who they started.
Kendall Hinton.
Kendall Hinton. Yeah. Thank you. I knew it was.
But he's saying they're comparable.
He's saying that.
Based on the way DiNucci played, the one time he started, I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Denver threw one pass in that game.
No, I think he completed one pass.
Completed one pass.
I think didn't he have like 3 interceptions in that game, Hinton?
Well, I turned it off. It was like 0 for 7 and like 2 picks or something.
The Saints were crushing them. So we have Red Zone on one TV, and then we have a game on another TV. And let's just say the Denver Saints game was not a priority for us this past Sunday.
I mean, Denver had no chance in that ball game. So I mean,
not a good look though if you're DiNucci right now getting compared to a wide receiver quarterback. I mean,
by the
owner of your team.
No, you're right about that.
Not ideal.
It's a great day to be a Cowboys fan.
Great day to be a Cowboys fan. Hey, at least the Eagles lost. At least the Eagles lost on Monday Night Football.
Then the Cowboys had the chance to win the game and then run the bogus fake punt during Thanksgiving. So,
hey, who do y'all have this week?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't even know if you're a Cowboys fan.
Are you really a Cowboys fan?
I ask you like a question like every 2 or 3 weeks, and your head's in the clouds when it comes to Cowboys questions.
Why should I care about the Cowboys right now? Give me one good reason why I should care.
You're a fair weather fan.
No, I'm not a fair weather fan.
That's what it just sounded like.
No, did I say I was a fair weather fan?
You just said, why do you care about the Cowboys right now?
Did those words come out of my mouth? No? Okay, just making sure.
Well, no one ever claims to be a fair weather fan.
No. Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, that's the Tuesday night game.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens in that game. So that's your quick hitting headlines. We'll get to some Rakeem Boyd conversation coming up.
All right, quick hitting headlines are brought to you by Trinity Multifamily. If you invest in real estate, only to find out you're investing as much of your time as you are your money. If you're tired of the phone ringing at the worst possible times, if you're tired of dealing with all the hassles, the day-to-day decisions, all the frustrations that can come along with it at times, Trinity Multifamily is there to rescue you. They have years of property management experience. They manage more than 15,000 units, and they can help you with your multifamily investment property. Call them, 479-452-1817. Let me say that again, 479-452-1817. Or look online about this award-winning company at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Let's hear what Felipe Franks and Traylon Smith had to say about what's happening with Rakeem Boyd. Here's Traylon Smith saying he's going to be ready for Saturday when he gets the starting role.
I felt like, he made the best decision for himself. But on me personally, when I heard the news, it was simple. I just told myself, it's time to step up to the plate. I've been preparing for this moment for the longest, and I'll be ready, most definitely.
We saw Traylon Smith step up against Auburn, and it seems like what happened yesterday with Rakeem Boyd opted out and the rest of this college football season, a lot of your reaction as an Arkansas fan was overwhelmingly negative with his decision. And I look at this as a next man up mentality. Am I disappointed Rakeem decided to opt out this season? Yes. Do I know the circumstances 100%? Absolutely not. I try my best not to rip someone unless I fully know what's going on with them right now. My guess is what happened. He probably had an agent get in his ear and say, hey, I can get this for you. I can get this for you. I know Clay, Tommy, and I had a little fun with that yesterday. Clay was acting as Jimmy Smith, the running backs coach. Tommy was acting as an agent. But let's be honest, we truly don't know what's going on with Rakeem Boyd. I don't know what his family circumstances is. I don't know what his financial circumstances is. So I think it would be a little harsh for me to come out and blast the kid when I don't have a deep background and knowledge of what his personal life looks like.
But is anything an agent can do for you in the next 2 or 3 weeks? If you played the next 2 games, if you got through this week and helped your team beat Missouri, and you played the final game on the 12th, is anything that's going to happen over the next, let's see, they would play on the 12th the next 10 days at this point? That dire, that immediate, because nothing that could probably be done for you by an agent over the next 10 days that couldn't wait till the 13th of December is going to matter that much, and you just opt out of the bowl game. That's what I don't like about this, and this isn't about Rakeem. I don't like any of these guys that have opted out particularly late. I get why they're doing it. You don't want to get injured. This has been a weird year where maybe what you're doing doesn't count as much, but I guess it's just the old school and what my dad made me do, whether it was something you were doing at school, whether it was a civic club or whether it was the football team or whether it was the golf team or whatever. If you signed up for it, you're going to go see it through start to finish. If you don't want to do it anymore after this year, whether it's 4th grade soccer or high school golf or junior high football, you're going to finish the season. And that, I guess that's just the way I was taught, but that's just not the practicalities of today's world anymore.
Levi in Southwest Arkansas texted in and says, you can never blame a man for doing what he thinks is better than himself. Levi, I don't necessarily agree with that 100%. Like, if I quit this job because I think it's better for my long-term career, that doesn't mean it necessarily is. And, like, blame is an interesting term you use. I don't think I'm coming across as blaming Rakeem Boyd, but I don't have to necessarily agree with his decision. What I'm coming from is I don't know 100% what's going on with his personal life. But to your point, I don't know, like you're saying, what is he going to get right now that he's not going to get either fall in the regular season or fall in the bowl game? And if you're an NFL GM, if you're an owner, if you're a scout, and you see a guy quits on his team 2 games before, does that have a positive or negative outlook on that said individual? In my opinion, it has a negative. Now, it doesn't have to be like just supremely negative. Like, it doesn't have to be one of those things where, hey, we're not drafting this guy because he decided to opt out. But I do think it has more of a negative effect than a positive effect. Rakeem is going to, assuming he participates in the Senior Bowl, he's going to have a really good Senior Bowl, and he's going to have to perform well in combines and stuff. I understand the decision because I'm assuming someone got in his ear, but I'm not 100% confirming that that's what happened. We're just under the impression that he probably got some bad advice, probably from an agent, probably from a third party, non-family. Maybe we're wrong. We don't know. Like, can you like?
No, I mean that's the thing. We don't have all of the. We know what his statement said yesterday. His statement didn't say COVID. His statement didn't say injury. His statement said what?
Preparation for the NFL draft.
So I'm just coming at it from the standpoint of from today, you got 10 more days of the regular season. If you play your last game on the 12th, what preparation, what are you going to do in the next 10 or 12 days? If you back up from the kind of the beginning of his decision, that can't wait 10 or 12 days. I mean, what training program, what regimen, what is your plan over the next 2 weeks that just absolutely can't wait, that you can't be with your team? And maybe it's just the overwhelming risk of injury that I don't want to risk the injury. I can get with that. I can understand the logic behind that. If that's what it boils down to, that listen, I don't want to tear up an ankle or a knee because I've got a 2.5, 3 year shelf life in the NFL, and I'm not going to risk it at this point with 2 games to go. I can at least understand the logic behind your decision.
But if
that's all it boils down to, I can at least understand it.
Let me come from an opposite perspective. Can't you do the exact same thing, throwing through combine drills, going through
Absolutely.
a variety of different things? So that perspective, while I know where you're coming from, I think it can be argued as well.
But let's be honest. Where are you more likely to get injured playing in a football game against a Southeastern Conference team who's trying to tackle, hit you, bring you to the ground, or are you more likely to get injured in training? Well, the answer's in a football game.
And you know what? You're probably right. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I'll give you a perfect example that's relatively recent. Klay Thompson, we know he tore his ACL in the playoffs, and what did he just do?
He
tore his Achilles in a workout.
Yeah.
So, it happens, but it's not just, you only get injured during games. That would, if that was the case, then you would see far less injuries. But
Cam Newton got hurt in a car crash.
Yeah, to have this idea, and you have Richard LeCount got in a motorcycle wreck earlier this year. Stuff happens. Jay Williams, who you hear before us every morning, got in a motorcycle wreck. Stuff happens all the time in life. I don't know the percentages of injuries in practice relative to games. I just know you can hurt yourself in a variety of different reasons when you're doing something physical. And here's the other thing that needs to be brought up. And I asked Rakeem this question prior to the season beginning. I asked him, Rakeem, was there at any point that you decided or thought about opting out ahead of this college football season? And he said this: I owe so much to my team. I came back for something. Me opting out this season wasn't even talked about. He's changed his mind, obviously.
Something's changed in his calculus and the way he thinks about it. I just wonder, and we hadn't gotten to talk to him, asked, as you play it out, what's going to happen for you over the next 10 days, Rakeem, that's so important that you can't complete the season? It's not like the practices are that rigoring at this point. It's not like you're taking a lot of extra hits in practice. I would think the fun of playing these last 2 games would be something you wouldn't want to miss out on. But that's just... Listen, we're outside guys and we don't play. We don't have our hand in the dirt, as Levitard likes to say. But it's not like there's a long, there's a lot of light at the end of this tunnel. The end of the season is near.
That it is. We got a bunch of texts responding to his decision. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts coming up, 877-377-6963.
Just getting a Q-tip up your nose 3 times a week may be too much for a lot of people.
It's not fun. I've had to do it twice.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Bill, honey, come here.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? Our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan. It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone. I am so sorry.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
Current offers end January 4th. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
An increase in the clouds today, a chance of some scattered rain. Our highs will be in the upper 40s early, then falling in the low to mid 40s in the afternoon. Rain likely early tonight. Could see a little bit of light snow or sleet across the north, and overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 30s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services, buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
I feel like when it's time for me and Felipe to step out there on the field this coming Saturday, we'll be clicking on all levels. Me and Felipe, we got a real good connection. We do a good job of communicating in the backfield. I feel like it should be smooth. It should be a smooth game for me and Felipe.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Got your comments in here this morning at 877-377-6963. Rakeem Boyd opting out for the final 2 regular season college football games, potentially the bowl game as well. We're taking your calls and texts all throughout the morning. Tommy and I have given our opinion, and we'll continue to give it this morning. You're now up to 6 Arkansas players that have opted out of the 2020 season. Is that too many? Is that about what expected? I don't have the list in front of me with other Southeastern Conference schools, what their numbers are in terms of opting out. We've seen some big-time opt-outs this season. Jamie Newman, quarterback of Georgia. Jamar Chase, LSU wide receiver. There's been some big high-profile guys that have decided to opt out, and one of the questions that was brought up by JP in Alma, he says, I'm sorry, but he just flat out quit on his team. He says he can see this at the beginning of the year, but he said with 2 or 3 games left, that's just flat out quitting. He says the best of luck to him, but he says he doesn't see a team drafting him because of this. So I'll ask that question to you. Does this sting and hurt even more that it's this late in the season that Rakeem's made his decision?
It makes it harder for me to understand. I don't know that it stings more.
Because you mentioned it's 10 days.
I mean,
it's Wednesday.
The season would be over the regular season would be over in 10 days. So you're scheduled to play, theoretically, Alabama. I guess we'll have the final schedule later on this week. And presumably you'll play Alabama on December the 12th. So 10 days from now, what in the next 10 or 12 or 13 days is that pressing in your training and your preparation? This has to boil back to just the risk of injury, the fear of injury. And I made the comment, and I wasn't really being flippant. I mean, I think it's real, is just going through 2020 and having to have a Q-tip shoved up to your brainstem 3 times a week can't be a lot of fun either. And that's part of being on a football team this year. That you didn't sign, nobody signed up for that. Coach, player, equipment manager, nobody. That's got to get tiresome. All of the social distancing protocols, all the wearing a mask all the time. One of the reasons I haven't gotten on an airplane since March, I don't know that I want to go 3 or 4 hours on a flight, plus all the time at the terminal and all that, wearing a mask. Well, it's like being on a plane the whole time when you're in the football operations center. Everywhere you go, you're never free of it. You're not home. So it's all of that at some point wears on you. And maybe that's part of where some of these guys are at, including Boyd. So I get it. I understand it. I would just think that, man, you're down to 2 weeks, 10 days. You get 2 more chances to be on the field with your team and play 2 more college football games. I'm having trouble getting to the bottom line and making the books balance on not going through the last 2 games.
Jeremiah brought up on our video stream, which you can always watch YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, that the student athletes this season, not just at Arkansas but across the country, have sacrificed so much. And listen, I don't mean to make light of that. I don't mean to not give them enough credit, because Jeremiah, you are 100% correct. But to your point, Tommy, it just seems like an interesting situation for that Rakeem finds himself in at this late in the season. Going to the phone lines, first call of the morning, talking Rakeem Boyd. Going to Levi, who is in Southwest Arkansas. Levi, you're on the Morning Rush.
Yes, sir. When I think about it, I don't like it. I don't like it any more than any other Razorback fan, and it may feel to us like he's quitting on his team. But from his perspective, what I see is when he's going and speaking with representatives from NFL teams when that time comes, what better way, what can he do more than opting out to say, hey, 2020, I dealt with injuries, I dealt with this, I dealt with that. And 2020 hasn't helped his draft stock any, but a really good showing in a combine can. Not saying that this extra 10 days of preparation is going to change the world for him, but it also shows, hey, 2020 was a wash for me. Don't look at that. Look at what I'm doing here in the combine. Look at what I'm doing here. And I think that plays a lot into this decision. Is 2020 didn't help him at all. So what's he really hurting himself? It hurts his team, yes, but I don't think it hurts Rakeem.
Levi, let me ask you this perspective. So you bring the combine in. What do you think management, what do you think scouts, what do you think coaches pay attention to more? What a guy does at the combine or what he does on the field?
And I couldn't agree more. But what I think he's going to do, since 2020 did not help him, what are 2 amazing games going to do for him? Are they going to turn around the injury, COVID-riddled 2020?
Levi, what I would say to your question is you're playing Missouri and Alabama. Rakeem had 98 yards, I think, 2 years ago against Alabama. That's one of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable, face of college football. I mean, that's the equivalent of you saying, all right, well, I probably don't have a good chance of doing this, so I'm just gonna pack it in. I mean, to me, like I still think he has a lot to prove in 2020. He's taking another route, which I'm not condemning the kid for, but it's a challenge, yes. But to end the season on a high note, potentially in a bowl game as well, I would relish that opportunity if I was in his perspective. I understand what he's doing, but I think there's a lot more to gain by playing these 2, potentially 3 games remaining than opting out and just getting ready for the combine. That's my opinion. He has his opinion, and we've seen what decision he's made as far as that goes.
And I would agree with that, but and we don't know where he stands, health-wise either. It's
a good point.
I think it's a buildup of circumstances between health, the fact that 2020 hasn't helped him any at all whatsoever. I don't think he feels like he's going to hurt himself with this decision. And like y'all have been talking about for days, what's being thrown in his ear 5,000 times a day?
Yeah.
Money, money, money. So, Levi, I appreciate the call this morning. I tend to agree. He's had injuries. His draft stock has not been helped at all this college football season. It's such a bummer because when you got the news that he was coming back, Kendall Briles, Coach Pittman pitched him. They were able to bring it back, and you were so excited. And the tandem of him and Traylon has been fun to watch at times this season, but it didn't play out like many thought it would. And I think that's not – I mean, there's no one more frustrated than Rakeem Boyd with how his season has played out. And it's just a bummer that 2020 has gone in the way it has for not just a number of different people, but particularly Rakeem Boyd.
Yeah, I mean he was expecting to be the guy that we saw at A&M. It got 100 yards. You were hoping to see that consistently, whether it's injuries, whether it's just the fatigue of the situation, whatever it is. There's a set of circumstances that have not allowed that to play out. I don't think this just boils down to, we've had a few texts already come in that said it just boils down to Traylon's taking his job. Now, I don't think that's it either. There's room for 2 backs.
Let me ask you something, though. Do you think Traylon Smith would have started this week against Missouri if Rakeem Boyd was back healthy? Because that's the question I asked, and it needs to be asked.
I think they had both played significantly.
How much of a role did that play in?
I don't have an answer.
I don't have an answer either, but it does have an impact. That is 100% true.
I would agree with that too. Hey, the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. They have all the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping: Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe. Plus, they have lifetime warranties on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle. So relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
Some of you have said that the jersey number 5 needs to retire. We'll hit on that next. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Hey, this is Gold Kubelik with ESPN and WJOX, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Craft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What?
No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Hey, Jenkins.
What's up?
You think you can eat more tacos than me?
I don't think I can. I know I can eat more tacos than you.
That sounds like the hammer's been laid down.
The hammer is laying down. SmackDown is ready to go.
Well, come by and see us at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, Fort Smith, for the Arkansas and Missouri game. What's going to happen then, man?
The taco eating contest going down. I will win. Also going to be cheering on the Razorbacks to a victory against Missouri.
Come watch the entire game with us. Half price apps and taps during the Hogs game at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Who wants tacos? I'm buying.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Off play action. Costello has it picked off by Fouché. Fouché takes it away at the 21. Coming up the left sideline, he'll skip over a defender at the 40, and they'll push him out of bounds out near the 45. Fouché with the pick, and the Hogs have the football.
Try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
We're going to talk to former Razorback Brett Goode coming up in just one sec. Talk some Rakeem Boyd, some Arkansas football, and a little NFL action. First, want to tell you about our friends at the Fence Man.
Yeah, if you own a business, you own a commercial or an industrial space that needs more in security or just maybe a better look, more curb appeal, the Fence Man can help give you both at the same time. Whether it's a industrial site that needs razor wire at the top, or maybe you have a business and you want a fence that gives your business that sharp, pristine look around it. Or maybe it's your home and you want to have powered automatic gates. Or maybe it is your business that you need controlled access in and out of a warehouse yard. Any of those situations, the Fence Man has been doing that for more than 40 years. 479-782-3936. Card readers, punch pads, cameras, any of those things to control access commercially or even residentially, they can help you with that. Any type of fencing, gates, or controlled access, you call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Brett, we'll start you out hot this morning. Just kind of your reaction to Rakeem Boyd opting out of the rest of the regular season yesterday.
I was confused by it just for the fact that there's only a couple games left. You've missed from injury. You've had a COVID issue. That's a big deal nowadays with the COVID because you don't know the long-term effects, and so there might be some questions on that end with some scouts. And then really, I know there's some vaccine news, but we don't know we're going to have a full combine, in the spring. So he's got to have a great combine. He's got to have that to be able to go out there and perform because I don't think he's an overall back. I think he's draftable. But he definitely has a lot of things that he has to work on to be able to stay on an NFL roster.
Now, Brett, this season is different with COVID being involved, but I remember a statement that Darren McFadden made on this very program when being asked if he had thought about opting out of the Cotton Bowl following the 2007 season. He said, I couldn't do that to my teammates. I wanted to play. I wanted to be with them in my final game. And I wonder if there's any connection you see with guys deciding that they want to finish out their college careers, regardless if they're high draft pick or not, and the guys that pursue, or if it's just so diluted by COVID being involved this season that you can't really make that comparison.
No, I think you can definitely make that comparison. And I'll tell you, with the COVID, these scouts, they really try to do their due diligence in these teams that spend money, and so they're going to want to know where he got it from. Did he get it from the facility or did he get it from Dixon Street? Like things like that, if they're holding themselves accountable, because when you're kind of on the bubble of making a roster and being a long-term guy, they want to know that you're a high-character guy. So one of those character points is not giving up on your teammates. But I also get his view of, the injuries and like Tommy said earlier, sticking a swab up your nose 3 days a week. I mean, there's things that change the opinion of everything that you kind of got to give him a little bit of a break because it is a weird season.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, and I'm sure you heard this part of the conversation about 2 games to go. From today, you'd finish your season in 10 days. Anything that you might going to do, what would happen over the next 10 days, Brett? That can't wait 10 days. That you'd go through your team activities, you'd participate with your team, you'd finish this thing out. I just can't imagine what's pressing other than the risk of injury. The fatigue of going through all the testing, the protocols, the social distancing, some of that stuff just weighs on you. But, man, it's kind of like when you're on that treadmill and you're going 45 minutes. If I've gone 38, I can probably figure out a way to gut out the last 7 if I've done 38, No matter how much that cold beer's sitting over there in that cooler, I can make it 7 more minutes.
Well, you make it 7 more minutes and you get 2 beers.
Exactly. And a donut.
It makes it easy.
And a donut and maybe a cigarette. So
Exactly. It's 10 days, that's nothing.
Exactly.
And you can do anything for 10 days. You're not getting payment for anything. Let's be honest, he's not like a, number 1 or number 2 round draft guy. So he's not getting a lot of money from an agent. Nobody's paying him right now. So there's nothing that's sitting out there waiting, unless he's got something that we don't know about that he doesn't want to talk about right now that may be pressing, health-wise. We don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where this conversation goes. You mentioned, how guys are getting and being responsible with that. I want to kind of shift it to the NFL and kind of shift it forward because we've seen even in the NFL with the Denver situation and draft picks being taken away and the NFL investigating why teams are having issues with COVID. Now, this isn't a policy that and a stance that college is taking, but you mentioned the responsibility of players and having to do the right things. In the NFL, they're actually holding their feet to the fire that, hey, if teams are having problems, we saw it with Denver, they wouldn't let them delay the game because, listen, you guys didn't wear a mask, so you can start a wide receiver on the practice team at quarterback. That's your pseudo punishment for not doing the right things. They're taking draft picks. They're making the situation in Denver no easier for them. We're seeing the NFL really put some teeth into their policies.
They are, because there's so much money. The NFL's they've got to play the game. There's no fans in the stands. That they're missing out on all the merchandise from game day and tailgating. But I heard from multiple players on different teams that it was a cuttable offense if they had Thanksgiving meal with people out on the team, and they really didn't want them having with their family from outside the area. But it was on the team. They just didn't want them being that close together to try and help keep the spread from within the locker room. And so we'll see if something comes out of that. I don't know. I think everybody's pretty thin right now, and I think that's kind of a long stretch. But, they've got, I think it's a 3 to 5 day waiting period before an NFL team can sign somebody, that they've got to pass all these COVID tests. So it may be a thing that they move forward to next year, though, in training camp, and they're looking at a guy and saying, well, these guys didn't wear their mask when they were supposed to. They weren't being a team player. And it may, a lot of guys might be surprised of getting cut. So we'll see what happens. But, you talk about the Steelers in Baltimore. That game's been moved, and it's all because of COVID. So we'll see how that plays out.
Brett, you bring up that game. I found it funny that it was reported that NBC just refused to not put on the Christmas special at the Rockefeller Center. So that's why they're playing this game so early today between the Steelers and the Ravens. I guess playoffs, like once wild card rolls around and then Sunday slate. But is it going to be, I'm assuming you're going to partake in the Steelers and Ravens game tonight. Is it going to be weird that it's a Wednesday at like 3-something that we're watching NFL football?
I think, once Thanksgiving hits, you start having football almost year-round, through the playoffs of college and bowl games and everything. So I don't think it's that weird. It's weird that, this game was supposed to be played a week ago on Thanksgiving and, all of a sudden it got canceled. And then obviously, talking about the Denver game and everything, how crazy it was. So it's going to be what's going to be put out there. Like the NFL, how are they okay with just putting just a game out there? And obviously you can see that with the Denver game. So how is this game going to be? Is it going to be competitive? And I think that's the biggest key that to want to draw fans to want to watch it longer is to be a competitive game.
What is weird is the NFL, the perception of the NFL not getting their way on something with one of the partners on the network side. That generally, it doesn't get perceived that way or doesn't happen that way. Generally what the NFL wants, the NFL gets.
That is also very true, and I think it's That kind of got down to who's going to watch it more, and so we'll see how long that continues to play out. I know they also, the networks have contracts with other things going on as well, so trying to make the best of both worlds. And I think it's better, honestly, for this game to be played earlier than night, because now these guys they've got to travel, get to this game, play the game, then they've got to move on to the next game quick. It's like playing from a Sunday to a Thursday type situation, to where their bodies are going to be a little bit different. And so I think it's better for both teams to be able to play it early anyway.
Brett, it is your buddy Aaron Rodgers' birthday today. Any special gift you're going to be getting him?
I just give him a hard time. I mean, what do you get a guy that has everything? So, it's he's a great guy, and we exchange little things here and there, but it's more just like personal stuff, just little things to, sometimes
picks.
it's scotch, sometimes it's a guitar pick, something special.
Yeah.
Of the three guys that I love watching every single Sunday or on Monday Night Football, Rodgers is definitely one of them. Russell Wilson, also one of those guys, and then Patrick Mahomes. What do you think that Aaron does better than any quarterback in the National Football League, Brett?
I think he's just adapted. You look at I saw a stat where they've got Tavon Austin coming in, and it'll be the second player ever that he's thrown as the number one draft pick, wide receiver. And so Mercedes Lewis is the only guy he's ever thrown first-round draft pick to a touchdown and tight end. So it's the guy has not had as many weapons as a lot of guys over the years, and the throws to those guys. He's had to adapt to everybody, and Jordy Nelson, second rounder, Devontae, Randall, all these guys have grown up over the years. You're talking third to sixth rounders for the most part, and so they've adapted to each other, and he's adapted to obviously a new coach in a tough season where the fans are not there, and so it's harder to go out there and play that cold game. And then there's nobody there. And obviously, everybody says, well, you could do anything for the money, but it's still tough when there's no fans and it's freezing cold outside. It's tough to want to go out there and do that. So I think that it's adaptation and being able to, to try and stay young within the game.
Let's double back. Arkansas, Missouri this week. We've kind of wrestled with the question: is this series a rivalry? Is the game between these two a rival? We're told it is. We're told by the powers that be we're supposed to believe it is and say it is. As a former player, is this one that you circle? Is this game got any extra juice for you at all this weekend, Brett?
It does, and I remember, I beat Missouri in the Independence Bowl, and it was a great game, and we had fun going down there. But it's still hard for me to get in my brain that they're in the SEC, and that's no disrespect to Missouri. It's just from whenever I played, that's the way it was, and they've created a trophy, and it's like, I don't know, it's just hard. I think the game starts getting competitive, and to build a rivalry, they need year in and year out. It's got to be competitive, and it's got to go back and forth, and it's got to mean something. And so I think if it starts doing that and keeps building, the longer that they're in the same SEC conference, then I think it can grow and make a rivalry game.
Yeah, and you were on that same team that went to the Independence Bowl, and Sean Andrews was one of your teammates for that game, and he did what for the Independence Bowl that year? Just to bring the conversation full circle to where we began.
And that is true.
He opted out.
He opted out, and it made sense. But Sean,
he had a lot more on the line. It seems like. Do what?
He had a lot more on the line,
yeah.
And he was going really early, and so there was a thing that I get that, but and that didn't hurt his draft stock. So
yeah, the thing I remember though is the reasoning. You remember the public reasoning?
I do not.
It was nasal polyps. He was having nasal polyps removed.
Nasal polyps.
Wasn't the draft?
Well,
because it wasn't in style to opt out back then. I mean, you just didn't do that back then.
It wasn't. But he had an excuse to make, need to work on his breathing.
Nasal polyps. So, anyway, I mean, you were on a team with because he was a superstar on that team. And a guy that didn't play in that. And listen, it didn't matter if he played the Independence Bowl. Obviously, Arkansas won without him. But you were in a locker room with a guy that didn't finish the final game. So you know what it's like to be a teammate in that situation.
You do, and you understand, and that's the same thing. You try to go on their side of it. Like, you can criticize it and do a lot, but and the same thing with Rakeem is, do you agree with it? No, but do you respect it? You have to. And they're still a teammate, they're still a friend. and those guys in the locker room, they're going to be upset, but there's still going to be some guys they have long-term relationships for the rest of their life with. So it goes both ways.
All right, Brett Goode's now on the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. He can sell you car insurance, home insurance, but he can do so much more than that, can't you, Brett? I mean, it goes far beyond that on the menu here, whether it's benefits for your employees, whether it's staffing management solutions. You're a jack of all trades.
We are, we focus on employee benefits, and we try to cross-sell everything within the car and auto and individual insurance, life insurance. I've been getting a lot of life insurance lately. With all this COVID, there's now a waiting list if you've gotten COVID that you've got to wait to make sure that you're going to be okay before you can get it. And so we've been dealing with that, and it's been fun. It's been challenging, but it's just like the NFL. Every day is different, and it's been a grind that I've enjoyed so far.
All right, so if you need anything in the insurance world, whether it's at work or even personally, call Brett, 479-651-2292. Now, you work both sides of the tunnel, right? Northwest Arkansas and the River
both sides
Valley.
of the tunnel. I'm trying to work Wisconsin. We've got Missouri. We've got somewhere in Michigan. So it doesn't matter. We are, the way the phones and technology are these days, we can go anywhere.
How many states are you licensed in? All of them?
Well,
or does it matter in insurance?
It matters in insurance, and if we get an account in the state that we need to go, we can go get appointed. It's just a non-resident license, so it's not terribly hard to get, and as long as you're standing in good grace, you're able to get it.
All right, call or text Brett. This is his cell phone number, so we're giving out dude's cell phone number here, 479-651-2292, and he would love to talk to you about insurance. 651-2292. All right, Bub, have a good week, and we'll talk next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Go Hogs.
We're going to get into the retired conversation for number 5 coming up, and we'll save that for another segment a little longer because I want your takes on that as Rakeem Boyd has opted out this season. But I do want to ask this question. So Nick Starkel right now and the San Jose Spartans are undefeated at this point. They're 4-0. And you say, Ty, why are you bringing that up? The reason I'm bringing that up is because you really wonder what Rakeem Boyd's career could have looked like if it wasn't wasted by Chad Morris. Now, he did go for over 1,100 yards last season, but I'm of the belief and under the impression if Sam Pittman and Kendall Briles were here and this was his 3rd season with them, his career would look a lot better than it has been. And it's been injury-plagued. I wonder how much that's going to hurt him in the pros, but it just stinks that it seems like a lot of Rakeem Boyd's career was wasted on a Chad Morris era.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things wasted those 2 years, right?
Yeah.
All of our hopes and dreams were wasted for 2 years, and these players as well. So that's a good point. I mean, listen, bad hire during a transition with an AD, a wrong person was chosen, and it cost everybody, including a player like Rakeem Boyd for a year. So, you're just glad you made the decision when you made it to move on. But that's part of the cost. That's part of the expense of a bad hire as a head coach. That's just part of the price you pay.
Sometimes the players that had the aptitude and the skill to be a lot better than they were didn't happen. But when you look at Rakeem, I think a lot of people were citing that he's getting ready for the NFL draft because he's scared to get injured in these final 2 regular season games. I wonder how much his body can hold up in the National Football League and in training camp because, unfortunately for him, he has just been plagued by injury after injury after injury, whether it's his shoulder, whether it's his knee, whether it's his ankle. It just seems like something else pops up every single year, and some guys just, unfortunately, can't stay on the field. Hopefully, he's not one of those.
Yeah, I mean, you just hope some guys just seem to just be bitten with that injury bug multiple times. Hopefully, he's a guy that can be sustainable because we talked just a day or two ago about the shelf life of an NFL running back is less than 3 seasons. So you got a short window. That's probably driving into his decision of why to do this now. But you can't play with the fear of injury. That's part of why I wrestle with what he's doing here. Ultimately, it's not up to me and doesn't really matter what we think. But hey, we're here to say what we think every morning, and that's part of why I wrestle with what's going on here when you only got 2 games to go. It would make more sense to me if you did it at the beginning of the year with 8 games to go or 5 games to go. But with 2 games to go, you've already went through the battles. You've walked through the fire. Let's just play the 2 games and not have this on your resume. And I brought that up with Brett about Sean Andrews. He had an All-American career. He's one of the best linemen, if not the best offensive lineman to ever play at Arkansas. But one thing I'll always remember about him, he didn't play that bowl game. You know, is that fair? No, but it's a fact. It's just something that will always stick with me about Sean Andrews.
Hayden in Bentonville texting, he says, look at every NFL team. Each one has a bunch of running backs on a committee timeshare. I don't see where he fits in. I think a practice squad is the best he can hope for. I don't understand his logic, but the best of luck to him. Hayden, I think what we're trying to do this morning is we're trying to make sense of his logic because Rakeem has, outside of the statement he released yesterday, has not gone on any radio shows, not gone on any television program, has not sat down with an Arkansas sports writer and given the entire in-depth story of what happened in its decision. And so we have to kind of makeshift and kind of read between the lines of what we think would happen. And I think when something like this happens, and I'm not a professional athlete, I wasn't a college athlete, but when something dramatic like this happens, instead of people speculating on why, and a statement doesn't do it, and I'm not asking for Rakeem to hold a press conference or anything, but I would go on a radio station or two and give your side of what happened. That way people don't assume this or assume that, and that's why it's important sometimes for public relations for you not to just release a statement and say, oh, this is what we're sticking to. No, people want more in depth than that. And he's not required to do that, but if you want people to stop asking and stop reasoning, hey, he did it for this, then you have to give more than just a statement. Because let's be open and honest about this. The preparing for the NFL draft was not the only reason he decided to not play these final two games. It could be one of the underlying reasons. It could be one of the big reasons, but it wasn't the singular reason he decided, hey, I'm going to opt out of these final two regular season games.
We just had a text from Doug in Mountain Home. Says he lost his starting job. He quit. That's what it looks like. Well, that may be right, but that may be wrong too. You're exactly right what you're saying, Ty. I mean, you'd be much better off to come out and control the narrative, to say, hey, here's why I made the decision, and here's the reasonings behind it. It's so easy now to hold a press conference, right? You just got to invite people to a Zoom. It could easily
they would hop on that.
It can easily be set up by the University of Arkansas and the Sports Information Department. They gladly make that available if that's what Rakeem wanted to do. And guess what? That's part of the skills that you need to have to play as a professional in the NFL. I mean, that's just, you have to have the ability to deal with media. That's just part of what goes into the job. It's not the whole job, but it's a fraction or a piece of it. So, I think you're exactly right in what you're saying. Don't let other people presume or read between lines. And, we're not trying to overread that here, but you've left some things to be interpreted here. There's no question.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we have to do. Unless we have something definitive, we just have to do our best makeshift guess, and that's what we're doing in this situation. Let's hear what Felipe Franks had to say. Now, I'll say it stings a little more because Rakeem's one of your captains. He's one of your best players. Here's what Felipe said about the leadership in that locker room.
I think that we have guys on the team that are leaders as well. And even when it was just us four getting voted captains, that's not the only leaders that we have on the team by no means. So, that's a continual thing throughout the season. Just more and more leaders emerge, and that's with all four of us up there, being captains. There's more than just us leaders on the team as well. So I think that's something that has shown throughout the season as well, all position groups.
And I think with him being a captain, it does hurt a little more because and again, one of your best players as well. How will this team respond against Missouri? Something we'll find out on Saturday.
All right, we'll take your calls and your comments. You can text or call at 877-377-6963. We are brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is their phone number. If you're looking to get that holiday trip, or maybe you're even thinking about next year for a Valentine's trip or a spring break trip, call now. They got winter rates that are in effect, big discounts over December, January, February months into the spring, as this is the time of the year you can get away and really enjoy Gaston's and get lodging discounts right now at Gaston's White River Resort beginning here in the month of December. If you're worried about social distancing, hey, Gaston's is the place. A, it's right here in the natural state. B, all 80 of their cabins and lodges and all of their on-property amenities are individual. They're private, so you're not passing people in the hallway. It's not a hotel. It's not a big lodge where you're going to see a lot of other guests coming and going in common areas, because Your cabin, your lodge is yours and yours alone. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Brother Green, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
That one's caught. Touchdown. Whoa, on a rope. Oh, my goodness. Joe Adams. There's not a backup in the country that can throw a ball like that.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
We've gotten a lot of text so far this morning advocating that number 5 should be retired following Rakeem Boyd opting out of the season. No, it shouldn't. I'll tell you why coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? You know, a lot of times you refinance your home or you purchase a home and you just start making payments. Maybe they're auto-drafted. You forget about it. Well, your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. If you haven't paid attention, 15 and 30-year mortgage rates are at all-time lows right now. So with Arvest Bank's low rates, you could lower your monthly payment, shorten the term on your loan, or do both. So if you've got a 30, you could turn it into a 15. If you've got a 15-year loan, maybe you can shorten the years and lower the monthly payment. There's a lot of options available. And Arvest services 99% of the loans that they originate, so you can deal with any of the local Arvest Bank branches in your neighborhood for all of your mortgage needs. Call Randy. He'll get the process started for you, 479-573-1127. That's 573-1127. If you haven't thought about your mortgage in a while, now's the time. Or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for an Arvest loan officer near you. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
First, want to go to the phone lines and welcome in Jared in Russellville. Jared, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How y'all doing this morning?
And we're doing good. How are you doing on Wednesday?
Oh, well, I'm doing all right. I just wanted to get a chime in on this Boyd thing. I feel bad for him because this fan base was praising him in January and February for coming back because we've seen so many players that have went pro. Bobby Portis, just for instance, even Qualls the same year. And then you look at this year, just Mason going, Joe going, and we have this fan base that praises him for coming back. And then he has a really bad injury in week number 2, can't play the second week. And people that put this narrative that he lost his starting job, if he was anywhere close to healthy, he started every time this year. And this young man he really did put his heart. It was the only thing we could actually look forward to watching during the Chad Morris era was him running the football. And you know what? This fan base should be thankful for watching him run for over 2,000 yards and over five yards per carry he averaged here in Arkansas. And I hope he does his best when he goes to there. But Trace, I love Traylon Smith. I'm glad that he's on our Razorback team. But he's not Rakeem Boyd, and people are trying to put the narrative that he is. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. If he was healthy, he started every game. And then I'm glad Traylon Smith is there, but I'm tired of people coming on here and bashing a kid for making the best decision he could for his family and for himself. And because he was hurt this year, and people don't realize that because it's a physical game, and people that haven't played it and just sit behind the computer and type up what they want to or text what they want to, don't know the game, really frustrates me because it just really is frustrating to see this kid that has poured his heart and soul into this program for 3 years and just us bash him as a whole. It just drives me crazy because he's a young man that is trying to do what he thinks is best for himself and for his family. And guys, I think we should support him because he like I said, over 2,000 yards in his career at Arkansas, and I hope he does well in the NFL. I hope he goes and does exactly what Alex Collins has done, have a long staying career in the NFL. And you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys are great today.
Jared,
thank you, Jared.
I thought you made some good points there, and we got to unpack a bunch of those. One, the point you brought up of him, and I'm forgetting if he said in February or January, like you said, that he's coming back. The adulation and the excitement that he received from Razorback fans was second to none because they knew the caliber of player they were getting in Rakeem Boyd. And has he lived up to expectations in 2020? No. New offense, new coordinator, offensive line hadn't been up to snuff, and you've had to deal with COVID as well, plus the injuries that you brought up. And what I would say about his decision that he just made, again, we're having to read between the lines. So if he thinks it's the best decision for him, whether it's money related, whether it's injury related, whatever the case may be, you can support but disagree with him at the same time. I think I've done that this morning. I disagree with his decision based on the information that has been provided, but I'm still going to support the guy. I hope he has success at the next level. And I think there's a difference between disagreeing and then bashing a kid. Like, you can be constructive in the way you criticize someone or you disagree with someone, or you can be vocal, demonstrative, and overly boisterous when it comes to ripping a kid. And I think there's a difference between the two, especially when, again, I know we put out the release, he's preparing for the NFL, but we truly don't know everything that went on behind the scenes involving his injury, the severity of that. There's just a number of things we as radio hosts, we as fans, don't truly and completely grasp based on the information that has been given to us.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even think we've been critical. I mean, here, and I don't think we've had calls that have been over the top.
We've had some good amount of texts that have been critical, which we've read.
You know, but I don't think he's been hammered this much. But again, to just add to what you're saying, you can disagree with somebody, and that doesn't mean you're being critical. We don't have to agree to still be supportive, like you're saying. So I don't agree with the decision at this point to not continue and finish the season. You know, I don't think I just don't think it's a good look, and maybe you don't worry about the look. But I just don't think there's anything you're going to do with your training. I think Brett Goode made a great point. Listen, this isn't a first or second round guy that's going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in advance from an agent at this point. There's no guarantee he's going to be drafted. In fact, you'd probably say he may be more likely as a running back to go free agent than he would be drafted, because they don't draft a ton of running backs anyway. So that probably makes more sense. So how much financial gain could there be from an agent or something in the next 10 days? Probably not much. Probably. So that to me, that angle doesn't make sense as to why you would do this. So I just think the fatigue of the whole thing, you roll the whole ball of wax up, COVID testing 3 times a week, social distancing, all the protocols, the injuries, the frustration of all of it, 2020 not going the way you wanted it to, the lack of productivity, all of it's probably just, one more straw that finally broke the camel's back here in the last, 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm. So, and
I don't think it is just one
we
thing.
haven't had necessarily the callers be vocal about their disapproval and their angriness to Rakeem's decision, but I'm reading back through our text. We do have another texters that have texted in, and I think what that goes to show is people are much more willing to rip and criticize someone via social media, via text, but they're a lot less likely to do it in person or on the phone. Listen, if you want to come on here and rip Rakeem Boyd, I'm not going to stop you. I may disagree with you, but we have yet to we're 2 hours in this morning, and we have yet to have someone call in and absolutely go toe-to-toe with Tommy or I on Rakeem's decision. Again, you are more than welcome to do that. It is a free country. No swearing or anything like that. But again, people are a lot more likely, a lot more apt to do this through text or social media when it comes to actually voicing your opinion. And that's what it comes down to in a lot of these situations when a kid, I guess he's a young man at this point, makes a decision that you don't necessarily like. Again, taking your calls all morning at 877-377-6963.
Hey, don't forget we're giving away $15,000. You got a few more weeks to enter. You go to hitthatline.com. It's brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and by Chambers Bank. Also got some great prizes with a $250 gift card from Walmart and from Doe's Eat Place. All you have to do is go to hitthatline.com, click on the button that says free rent. Get $15,000 for free rent or mortgage payments for a year from Nick and Ellie Glidewell and from Chambers Bank.
We'll do the retiring conversation coming up.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Bill, honey, come here.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? Our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan. It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone. I am so sorry.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
Current offers end January 4th. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business an excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Hey, Jenkins.
What's up?
You think you can eat more tacos than me?
I don't think I can. I know I can eat more tacos than you.
That sounds like the hammer's been laid down.
The hammer is laying down. Smackdown is ready to go.
Well, come by and see us at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, Fort Smith, for the Arkansas and Missouri game. What's going to happen then, man?
The taco eating contest is going down. I will win. Also going to be cheering on the Razorbacks to a victory against Missouri.
Come watch the entire game with us. Half price apps and tabs during the Hogs game at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Who wants tacos? I'm buying.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly cloudy sky tonight, won't be as cold. An overnight low will drop down into the lower 30s. An increase in the clouds for Wednesday. A chance of rain. Our high will be in the upper 40s. And then a slight chance of a little light snow, sleet, or freezing rain on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light. Please drink responsibly.
I feel like when it's time for me and Felipe to step out there on the field this coming Saturday, we'll be clicking on all levels. Me and Felipe, we got a real good connection. We do a good job of communicating in the backfield. I feel like it should be smooth. It should be a smooth game for me and Felipe.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Every once in a while, I can spark some calls a little bit, and I definitely do that. Our phone lines are filled up this morning in response to the question I had about Rakeem Boyd, and the question many of you have yet to answer this morning. I want your takes at 877-377-6963. We got What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up at the tail end of the program. Also want to talk about potentially if this game between Arkansas and Missouri still has some impact on the SEC Coach of the Year. And then, of course, we'll touch on Rakeem Boyd. And should Arkansas retire number 5 following Rakeem Boyd's departure?
We are brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. Was talking with the folks at Standard Materials Group earlier this week. They're wanting to add 10 to 15 full-time drivers to their staff right now. So they have immediate openings for more than a handful of opportunities with this company. So if you have a CDL license with an automatic restriction, you want to be home at nights, you want to work with a great company that, hey, starts you with great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, this might be the right opportunity for you. Apply online, jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
We're going to start going out to Farmington, home of the Cardinals this morning, where Robert is waiting. Robert, you're on the Morning Rush.
Well, you did stir it up, so I'm going to comment. I'm going to throw in my 2 cents worth on this.
Go ahead.
But you brought up an interesting point. None of us really know what's going on. We're not in the locker room. We're not in his head. We're not a coach. We're not in his inner circle. We don't know what made his decision. But from the outside looking in, unless you get a straight up heart-to-heart interview type answer, we're just left to guess on our own what happened or why it happened. And the timing and the optics, as you guys put it, make it look like he quit. And this is not I'm not banging on him because we don't know what's going on in his life. I mean, I was angry when Barry Foster dropped out, but I learned later on why he did, and I'm okay with it now. We know Barry Foster needed to go to the NFL, and there's reasons for that. So and it may be the same situation here, but the honest, truthful answer is none of us really know. And when you do it with 2 games left in the season, and there's other players around the country that are, opting out for the bowl game to protect themselves so they don't get hurt, and now it's 2 games left in the season, and you're allegedly opting out. And I hate that term. Opting out should have been at the beginning of the season or within 2 or 3 weeks. Opting out at this point is you're quitting on your team, and that's how it looks. And nobody wants to rip on him because we don't know his personal experiences. I mean, he may have gotten into an argument with the coach for all we know and said, screw this, I'm out. Then we don't know if that's what happened or not. But it looks like he quit on his team. And that's the hard part. We don't know. We don't want to rip him. We don't want to, come unglued or unhinged. But the bottom line is it really does look like he just decided to quit on his team. And personally, that's unacceptable. You don't quit on your teammates. I mean, like you said, Sean Andrews pulled the same stunt. And for good or bad or whatever, he's got to deal with that now. People, you make decisions in your life that affect you for the rest of your life, and this is one that Boyd has made. And he's just going to have to deal with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, and the optics is a great word for basically what you just characterized, Robert. The optics look like he quit on his team, but unfortunately, we don't know, and we may truly never know. And that's just tough to come to grips with when we're trying to talk about it extensively this morning, and we don't have every bit of detail that we need to thoroughly discuss it.
We want to support him. He's a Razorback. He fought for us. He got on the field. He played for us. He looked great. We want to believe the best, but we don't know. He's left us in a lurch, and I know it's his personal life. He can decide whatever he wants to do. But when you assume a position in the public eye, as he did, it's a very good lesson for him to learn at a young age that your decisions matter. And people are going to say what they're going to say unless you take control of the situation and you start directing the narrative. Right now, the narrative looks like he quit. And a lot of people don't approve of that. And I don't know. I could go on for this for the next 5 or 10 minutes, but you got other callers, and I'm going to let you go. But that's just how I see it. We love the guy. We want him to be successful. But when you quit like that, it really looks bad.
Robert, that's a thoroughly impressive call this morning. We appreciate it. Again, we got a bunch of calls in. If you want to chime in your opinion, it's 877-377-6963. And I think that's the approach that many of you Razorback fans have taken. It's like, yeah, you want to be proud of the guy, but you are disappointed. Listen, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to sit here this morning and tell you that I'm not disappointed in the decision. But again, I'm also, like Robert saying, I'm not going to fully bash, smash, and rip the kid because I don't know what's in his personal life. Give an example. So, I have never, ever, ever had to worry about where my next meal is coming from, or if I have electricity, or just basic necessities that you need in your life. And I don't know what Rakeem's situation is. I don't know what a single player situation is on that football team financially. But what I do know is some of these kids, regardless of race, come up to school and they don't have the best home life. And so when they are presented an opportunity to make their home life better, they take advantage of that. And so I was in, basically from 4th grade on, I was in a private school bubble where I thought everyone had the same stuff that I had, basically. And when you get to college, that kind of changes things, and you get in the real world, that changes things. So whenever something like this does occur, I try and look at it from a different perspective. Hey, he didn't have the same home life, or he doesn't have the same life that I have. I don't know what his financial situation is. So I can't be overly critical of the guy because we're not in the same boat. We might be, but I don't fully know that.
No. But what in the next 10 days is going to dramatically change that situation?
And
I just keep coming back to that question.
I've agreed with that, but I don't. But the thing is, we don't know.
Yeah.
He could have gotten money. He could have signed something. We don't know. And that's what the narrative, again, we keep discussing when it comes to this conversation. All right, let's go to Van Buren, home of the Pointers. Welcome in Leonard. Leonard, you're on the Morning Rush.
Oh, good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
Hi, good, buddy. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Leonard, did we lose you, buddy?
But now you got to look at this. As an athlete and a coach, I've been in it. From pro-am on down. Rakeem Boyd was 2 years. Just exceptional football. This guy, this is the SEC he dominated in for 2 years. He dominated it. This guy ain't just going to fall off the cliff like he can't play the ball games or this, that. This guy was injured. He played. He came out and he gave all he had. You got to understand, as an athlete, you got to make the right decision at the right time. If you ask me, he came in a little late. About halfway through the season, after he had that 100-yard game, showed that I can do this. I'm injured, but I can do this. That was the time he could have did it then, but his love for Arkansas had him to keep playing. He wanted to try to finish it out, but you got to understand, he's also got an agent. Just tell him, look, guy, when the combine come around, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to do what you need to do. You got to be healthy, full strength, and strong. Everybody projects him as about 12th. To be honest with you, if he sits out, gets himself together, he could easily run a 4.4. The man's got the agilities, the skills. He can do it all. If he can go there and impress, he's easily in the top 7. Easy. Just because of his skill set and just because of his health and conditioning. They got to understand, the man stayed so long and played more games because he felt the obligation to help his team. But at some point, you got to say, okay, I got to do what's best for me and my family. And, like I said, this guy, he can easily go to the combine and blow it away and move himself up a little bit more, which he's going to have to do. And he's going to need time to heal and get himself together to do that. But by no means did this man quit. Quitting would have been like, oh, I'm not going to even attempt this. I'm going to just go ahead and go. He'd have went last year. But what I'm saying is, think about all those things. This man's got to be healthy and fit because he had a low year because of all the injuries. Now he's got to go there, which he's well capable of running. He's got to put 4.4 on paper. He's got to do good in all of his agilities and drills and all of that. And he's got to be healthy, the physical. He's got to be ready. So, kudos to him. I appreciate all he done. And let's get off the young man's back. He gave you more than he should have gave you. He gave you more. The man didn't quit. He went above and beyond. You guys have a good day. I'll sit back and listen to what you got to say.
Lennar, appreciate the call this morning. You made a couple of good points. Number one, Rakeem Boyd did love the University of Arkansas. You talk to people closely around him. You see him out socially, not so much this year with COVID and everything. He loved it. And I've had conversations with people around him, and he really liked being a Razorback. He liked being on that campus. And you brought up the injury aspect. The guy busted 1,100 yards last year with that offensive line. And then this year, with new offense, new quarterback, and adjustment period, but you could tell just by the way he ran the football that he was nowhere near 100%. And the one time he looked fully healthy was following the time he was injured in the Auburn game and then getting to play Texas A&M after that. You could tell there was some light, some resurgence, him getting to participate coming off that bye week against the Texas A&M Aggies, his former team. So he's got it, Lennar. We've seen it. Can you do it, though, continuously? Can you stay healthy? Through no fault of his own, Tommy, he's shown the inability of staying healthy. And that's not on him. You can tell by looking at him, he works out and he does, but some guys just have rotten luck when it comes to injuries, and Rakeem seems to be one of those cases.
Yeah, he's not been durable. He's been a guy that's, even when he's been healthy, had trouble staying on the field for a lot of plays consecutively. That is one of the things as scouts, GMs, coaches evaluate where he's at, are questions that he's going to have to answer. Again, I just come back and I keep making the same point because it's the question that is number one on my list. What in the next 10 days is going to – and I get the avoiding injury part, but what in the next 10 days are you going to do training-wise to get your body right? What are these next 10 or 12 days, depending on when you started the process of phasing yourself out of the team, what are you doing right now to make sure that, hey, I got to have these 10 or 12 days to be right for the combine? That's just the part that doesn't compute to me. Maybe I don't understand. Someone help me understand, but I don't know how these 10 or 12 days right now are so valuable. Now, let's be honest. In a normal year, non-COVID, where would they be right now? Your season would be over, and you'd be making these decisions. You would be on that calendar of getting ready. Yeah, you might have a bowl game. It's become more fashionable to opt out of the bowl game if you have NFL aspirations. That's just over the last few years become more acceptable. So you would start that calendar, that training calendar, right at the 1st of December. Now, that's not an option this year. So, the calendar is a little bit different this year. That's the only way I can reconcile this in my own head, why these 10 days are so important, because it's normally part of the training calendar from the end of the year till the combine.
And I wonder, to all of our listeners out there, if COVID is not impacting this college football season, does he opt out? It's something we'll never know.
I've brought this up a couple times already this morning. I think it's just the wear and tear of all of it. I mean, no one wants that COVID test 3 times a week. As an athlete, that's what you got to deal with. All of the protocol, the social distancing, that is wearing on everybody. So it's just the whole situation's not easy right now. Hey, before we head back to the phones, I want to tell you about our friends at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Great place to unwind and relax late afternoon, have a cocktail. And they got cocktails you're not going to find just anywhere. Top shelf wines, top shelf liquors that is just not simply on the menu in other places. Plus, great local music that you're going to find. Bill Rebsman on the piano many afternoons and others. You can go to their Facebook page. Just search 906 Lounge, and you'll find them there. Like their page because they've always got great music. Some afternoon piano and some great stuff to, it's not overpowering, but you have a great business meeting or just unwind with some friends. You can get a great cigar out of your humidor. They got a great selection there. When the games are on, they got a great LED screen in the back that is huge. Great place to watch Arkansas or any of the other games. And, of course, they're abiding by all the guidelines. They got an air filtration system that not just it replaces the air. So it doesn't just filter the air. It replaces the air in the lounge every few minutes. It's all at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Sample, indulge, and escape at 906 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith.
Many of you have been texting in this morning, hey, should they now retire number 5? And, Tommy, I'll let you hit on this first, and then I'll come to it. And I know PA and Texarkana has been waiting for us to get to this conversation. With Rakeem Boyd opting out and him not wearing number 5 anymore, is 2020 the year that Arkansas should and ultimately decides to retire Darren McFadden's uniform?
The question is, are you going to continue to let, obviously you're saying, are you going to let people continue to wear it? Because people have worn it since Darren McFadden ended his career in 2007. So is now the time to discontinue the use of that number? Did Darren McFadden have the kind of career here that merits and warrants that? Arkansas has not had a history and a tradition of retiring a lot of numbers. There just aren't that many numbers that they've retired. Yeah.
Clyde Scott, Steve Little, Brandon Burlesworth.
2 of those numbers were shared. So I don't know that Arkansas goes down that path. What's the current appetite for that with administration? I don't have the answer to whether now is the time. The question really is number 5 worthy of retiring, or is that a number you want kids to aspire to wear at Arkansas? I can see the argument on both sides. No, you want people to try to live up to being the next number 5, to being Darren McFadden. So I can see both sides of the argument. Is Darren McFadden worthy of having his number retired? I think you can certainly make that argument. He is certainly the best player probably any of us have seen in our lifetime. And, some of the best teams, obviously, we have ever seen here at Arkansas in the SEC era. So is 2020 now the time, now that Rakeem Boyd's done wearing it, that no one else wears it for a while? Maybe you put that on the shelf for a little while and see what the appetite is.
Darren McFadden, and listen, there is no bigger fan of Darren McFadden than Ty Richardson. Grew up watching him, 501 kid. I mean, heck, I got a 501 insignia on the side of my forehead when I got the mullet. I don't know what I'm going to do this year when that thing grows back out. But when it comes to the just appetite for retiring his number, I have stated multiple times, and I'll say it again, that's not the route the U of A should go. They should take it as an LSU type of approach with Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, and all the great eventually Derek Stingley Jr. is going to wear it. All the great ones that have donned that uniform it, as you mentioned, should be something to aspire to.
Make it an
Rakeem
honor.
Boyd, make it an honor. Now, Darren came on this very program. We asked him that question, hey, what do you think about the possibility of getting your number retired? He says, I'm not going to say that, but if they want to do that, that's fine. If they do what they think is right. I have said multiple times when it comes to this conversation, I mean, this guy is a 2-time Heisman runner-up. He's a Walter Camp Award winner, won the Doak Walker twice, 2-time All-American, 3-time first-team All-SEC. I mean, the accolades just keep rolling in. And I know the argument that you and others have made before is he didn't win a national championship. They lost the SEC championship, one of only 3 SEC appearances in the history of Arkansas football. There should be some sort of shrine, some sort of statue. I would be openly okay with it. They made a Darren McFadden statue. But number 5, if you haven't noticed, and I know that it's hard for some of you to grasp, but that is a big number for recruiting. And that you say, well, I mean, it's not that. No, it is a big deal. A lot of running backs, a lot of stud players growing up love the number 5. So what you do in that situation, if you take it away and you say, well, Ty, that's not gonna make or break a kid's decision to come to Fayetteville or not. You need every advantage you can get when it comes to the University of Arkansas's football program. And you might say, well, the number's not that big, Bill. To some kids, it is.
Well,
to some kids, it absolutely is what they want to don playing collegiate football.
How many kids are on the team? How many players do you have on a team?
It's 100 and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's 85 scholarship players.
And not all of them dress on game day, but all of them get a number, right? So, and some of them share a number, right? Because you obviously 0 through 100, and they've added 00 and 0 now, right? So if you keep retiring numbers, at some point you're going to run out of the ability. I mean, you just think it logistically. Sometimes you just think about it logically. You can't retire a bunch of numbers or you're not going to have enough jerseys to fill everybody you need to fill on game day and not have a bunch of duplicates. And these single-digit numbers are highly sought after. Everybody, including defensive linemen and including your quarterbacks and your skilled position players, all want to wear a single digit. That's a high honor, particularly for a defensive lineman on a team to wear a single-digit number. And you got to be really careful about this. I mean, you just think about it just logistically. Retiring numbers is a difficult thing for a football team because you got so many people, so many players. And when you take a number away, it's not just taken away once, it's twice because you may have 2 number 5s out there because one guy's on defense, one guy's on offense. And then you got to be careful on special teams that they're never out there at the same time.
And once again, there's no bigger fan of Darren McFadden than myself, but I think I've laid out and Tommy's laid out some pretty good reasons why you shouldn't. You want to build a statue, that's fine. You want to put up a jersey in the Donald W., that's fine. That's my opinion. You don't have an opinion because you don't think it's that good. You've stated that multiple times.
I never said
in this
that.
program.
Quit putting words in my mouth. You just don't build statues for everybody. You just don't build statues.
You just like
anyway,
to
they got to
pest me
run.
when it comes to that.
You want to build a statue for everybody.
Is that?
Anyway.
Well, don't put words in my mouth either when it comes to that.
Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine. It is hot tub weather right now. There's no better hot tub than a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. It's the number 1 spa. It's the best ever, like Darren McFadden. It's the best ever when you get a hot spring spa. It's well built. It's insulated well, so that means your electric bill is not going to run way up. And they've got all the features, all the extras that you're looking for with a hot spring spa. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at artrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool. And Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
$49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get Scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keep in the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Costello going to throw on second down. Has time underneath. Intercepted. That's Brooks at the 35 to midfield. He's got a chance to go to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Greg Brooks with a pick six, and the Hawks strike first.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
Got to get into your Hog updates, some things we got to touch on. Arkansas takes on UT tonight. Texas Arlington, they will play at 8 o'clock. We'll have tip-off beginning then, and then we'll also have the pregame show at 7:30 here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. All the quick headlines to get to. Sam Pittman got himself a jukebox, Tommy. Pretty excited about that.
I didn't know you could still buy it. This can't be a new jukebox. Do they still manufacture jukeboxes?
That's a great question. I've seen, you and I have discussed this before, show. We've seen a handful or two, certain restaurants, certain places. It's not too
Well, they got the one at Waffle House, too. It's more, it's more of a digital jukebox,
Right.
but at least it's a jukebox.
Well, it still works.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking one of those old ones with, what was the show the Fonz was in? Thinking of like
Happy
that.
Days.
Happy Days.
Yeah.
It's where they used to hang out.
The
There's
old
like
records. I mean, the old 45s with the arm would pick it up and put it on the player. Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't do that anymore.
Stuff like that. It's a little different as far as that conversation goes.
Hey, Saturday, $1 tacos at Joe's Grill and Cantina, but you want to be there to watch the game with us. They're going to open up at 10 a.m. and be ready to go for the 11 a.m. game. You can get some bar specials that'll begin at 10, and maybe even have their new brunch menu that's going to be debuting soon at Joe's. But $1 tacos all day, half-price apps and taps during the game. And these two knuckleheads that I work with are going to see who can, you two, are going to see who can eat the most tacos at halftime. So get there early, watch the game. It's a tremendous publicity stunt we're running on Saturday with you two eating tacos.
I don't think it's a publicity. I think it's just mano-a-mano, man versus man.
Is that what we've done here?
Five
This started
area
out
code
as just
versus area code.
This started out a few weeks ago. We were going to do it last week, and then obviously they canceled the game as just a. We just started talking. I just asked the question one day, who could eat the most tacos, and it's kind of just blossomed from there.
Materialized to that. Now, you've stated openly that you think you're going to dominate, which is going to be quite funny. And I have never said on this radio program that I'm going to be winning, but it would be quite hysterical as following Saturday's competition.
If you can beat me, you've earned it.
Like
we'll put it like that.
David versus Goliath.
That's
type
fine.
Of
Hey,
right here.
Goliath will win 9 times out of 10, but sometimes David throws that one rock that knocks Goliath out. So we'll see.
Guess we'll see what happens.
It's gonna be fun.
Right, so
if anything, though, it's a great Christmas present for the listeners and everybody else that comes out there.
It will be live streamed on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And also, if you want attendance, make sure you stop by Joe's Grill. We're going to be watching the game the entire time, so come eat with us. It opens at 10 that day, right?
They're going to open at 10. They don't normally open that early, but with the 11 a.m. kickoff, 10 a.m. start that day at Joe's.
And Jenkins is buying beer
Nothing
if
like
he loses.
chips and salsa at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And I heard also, if I'm buying beer, I also heard yesterday Ty said he's buying a round of tequila shots for everybody when Arkansas wins.
Yeah, on the company dime. Yeah. So that's
it's on the heck yeah.
Okay,
that's
how we're doing it here.
And when we say company dime, it's an actual dime. That's all we got is a dime.
That's all we. It's all we can expense.
So however far that dime will go, that's what we got.
All right, Rod on I-40 has been patiently waiting this morning. Rod, what you got first, man?
Oh, man, I hate to see Keem go. I understand if it's a business decision. 10 days, Tommy's right. That's very puzzling. You could come out from under COVID testing, I guess, a quarantine within 10 days. That's about it. Thank God it's not Frank. Now I'll be dialing 911. I mean, Rakeem's, he's been a good player and all that. We'll make do. It's just 2 more games, so nothing to panic about. I mean, I can't stand the thought of quitting. I just can't get past that. I understand you can get injured. I get that. But usually the simplest explanation is the correct one, Austin's razor. But there's no hard and fast, simple, clear-cut reasoning for this. And that's got me kind of hitting the dead end.
Rod, it's important. I appreciate your call because we're coming up here on a break. The perception, like you just mentioned, is that he quit on his team. And we have stated that openly, honestly, all throughout the morning. That being said, Tommy and I also have been vocal that we 100% don't know what's going behind the scenes. A statement doesn't clear up all the questions we have. He says he's preparing for the NFL draft. I, like Tommy, still have a number of different questions that I would love for Rakeem to share on this very radio show. I don't think my wish is going to be granted anytime soon, but I can at least be hopeful as far as that is regarded. That being, once again said, you're still left wanting, right? You're still left wondering, hey, what went on? Now, this isn't the exact same, but you remember the C.J. O'Grady, Chad Morris dynamic that we never fully uncovered? Mm-hmm. It was just, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of mystery behind what went on there. And we truly don't know what, to this day, went on. It's not the exact same comparison. It's kind of an apple and oranges, but when you want to make one, that's kind of what I have for you this morning, that we truly 100% don't know fully what is going through Rakeem's head, the conversations he's had with his family, people outside of his family, and until he does a sit-down interview, which I don't expect anytime soon, we'll never truly know.
All right, we're going to move through phone calls on the other side of the break, so we got 3 holding right now. Y'all stay right there. We're going to quickly move through your calls in the final segment coming up. We're brought to you by the Kevin Hickey Law Partners. If you're building a home, that can be a very stressful time, and whether you're the homeowner or the contractor, changes in plans, subcontractors not showing up, non-payment, all of these issues can cause homeowners and contractors to be at odds. So if you find yourself in a lawsuit or you find yourself needing to talk to an attorney about what's going on with your contractor or your home building project, call Kevin Hickey and his partners at the Kevin Hickey Law Partners. Him or Brad Hull can help you today. 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas, or check out their website, artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
Some of you got Arkansas as the underdog tonight against Texas Arlington in a Vegas mistake. That line has since been corrected. Arkansas was 3 or 4 point underdogs yesterday and 2 days ago. Now they're 15, 14-point favorites. That's been corrected. So congrats on all of you who got Arkansas as an underdog.
Timing's
tonight.
everything.
Timing is everything. Exactly right. We'll get to your calls on the other side.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback tight end Ben Cleveland, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is Brett Goode, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Goode, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-sides, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwasher 5 cubic foot and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil top and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA. Speed Queen. Conservators made by Whirlpool. Hot Point by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Breeden RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breeden RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breeden RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
6 carries, 32 yards for Smith. Frank's going to throw, got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas! Hudson Henry with his first touchdown as a Razorback, and the Hogs go up 20-7.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Stacked up with calls this morning. We're going to get to you on the final segment here on the Morning Rush. Got a chance to catch up with our buddy Keith Wilson yesterday, CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Hey, do me a favor real quick. It takes 2 minutes. Go to bestnwa.com and vote for CJ's as the best burger and the best fries in all of Arkansas. And if you've been to either location at either Weddington up in Fayetteville or the Arkansas Avenue Exit 81 location in Russellville, which I both had in the past month, you know that what I say is 100% true. Fresh fries, incredible burgers, and the best milkshakes around.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. So just do me a favor. Again, go to bestnwa.com. Vote for CJ's as the best burger and the best fry in all of Arkansas. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
Those milkshakes are so thick, they're a workout just trying to drink them through the straw.
Exactly. I had the caramel one for the first time going back to Little Rock for Thanksgiving, and it was unbelievable. And I told you my brother legitimately asked me, hey, will you get me one on the way home? And he ate it 2 days later, and he still said it was spectacular. That's how good CJ's is. So stop on by today.
Surprised it made it all the way home.
I know.
With you.
Like with me, like the smell in the car just roamed, and I managed to not eat it. It's because I'm a good brother, of course. All right, first phone call going out to Springdale, welcoming in Ed to the conversation. Ed, we got a bunch of calls, so if you could keep it about a minute and a half, man, that'd be great.
Okay, no problem. I think as far as Rakeem Boyd goes, he as far as that goes, he decided to not do it or opt out just to make sure his draft status doesn't drop anymore. And as far as retiring some jerseys or numbers, there's a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some Razorbacks that should be considered in that. Lance Allworth, Dan Hampton, Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, anybody that's in the NFL Hall of Fame, that might be a feather in the cap to see at least their name in a ring around the top of Razorback Stadium. All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Ed, appreciate the call. Short and concise. We appreciate it this morning. Listen, I don't.
They have the Hall of Honor. They have a couple of ways of honoring those.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a Ring of Honor in the stadium, but they do have the Arkansas Hall of Honor and some other things within the university to honor those guys. You just can't retire a bunch of numbers when you've got 85 scholarships and walk-ons and like 120 players. It just becomes logistically almost impossible to do if you did that.
Especially if number 5 is a coveted number, which it is. All right, PA and Texarkana, you're up next. I know you have an opinion on the retiring of number 5, so go ahead, man. We got about a minute and a half for you.
Okay, I just think number 5 needs to be retired. He's 610, 15 yards off of the top spot of all time in the SEC, and that's held by Herschel Walker. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel that if he had played his senior year, I would imagine he'd have got over 610 yards. The likelihood would have been there unless he'd have gotten hurt.
Yeah,
but he was never one to get hurt. But there's just no way that they can keep him down. As far as people complaining about, the number of, I get you can't retire everybody's number, but you don't retire everybody's number. I mean, there's no statue of Lou Holtz out there, even though he did exceptionally well as a football coach at Arkansas. But what player is going to come up and say, I want number 5. I don't care, and really have a legitimate argument and say, look, I'm better than that guy, and I'm not going to come to this school because I can't get number 5. Well,
you don't want that guy.
So be it. Go somewhere else. Yeah. I just think that Darren did enough for Arkansas. He kind of had a so-so career in NFL, but if you take that away and you just look at his numbers at the University of Arkansas, if they don't put the number 5 up, they just ought to burn the building down. That's the way I look at it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, way to end the call with some passion this morning, PA. Listen, I've said this once, I'll say it again. There's no bigger Darren McFadden fan within the Arkansas sports media than Ty Richardson, but I have presented some ways that I think there are some areas that you shouldn't retire his number. But he should get something. He's the 3rd best running back in SEC history, the best in Arkansas history. Something should come out of that. I agree with you, PA, when it comes to that conversation. All right, going out to San Diego, California, welcoming in our friend Robbie. Robbie, you're on the Morning Rush.
Thanks, Ty. Did you just refer to yourself in the 3rd person?
That I did. Do that every once in a while.
I did double check that.
Thank you for checking him on that, too. Saves me the time.
Tommy's like, Ty, I can't see you right now, but I'm sure he's probably just rolling his eyes like, Jesus, here comes a prima donna. Hey, man, so I just want to...
And then a hair flip. Following it.
Yeah, hair flip. I don't think us in our 40s have the hair that Ty has, but it's all good.
It's going to go away
And he won't either in his 40s.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, so if imitation is the greatest form of flattery, then I would think that Rakeem Boyd is just going down the path of other college players. This whole opt-out thing started, when COVID hit in the spring. It continued on the summer, and it made its way in the fall. Get players opting out 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in. Now you got two games left, and we're calling it opting out. It's not opting out anymore. It's just quitting. So here's the other thing. Imagine, Clemson, then becomes, they lose in the ACC championship game. How many of their players are going to so-called opt out, prepare, protecting their draft status this is a problem in college football. It's not a Rakeem Boyd problem. He's doing it because he's not the first one. It's Texas has a problem. LSU's got a problem. He had captains down in Austin that opted out 2 games left. I mean, what does that say about the coach? What does it say about the program? I think it's about individuals, about adversity, how these young players deal with it. It's all about, at the end of the day, social media is what got them all propped up, and social media is also what's getting them a lot of backlash. So, you got to deal with it. If you're a collegiate athlete, you got to take the good and the bad and the ugly. And I think right now Rakeem is just on the bad side of, of this situation. Is he wrong for it? Hey, that's for him to decide.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking out for himself. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Robbie, appreciate the call this morning. Every piece of information, every bit of advice that you receive from people older than you doesn't necessarily correlate to good advice. And I think that needs to be taken into account. And listen, we'll have to wait and see.
But some of it is.
Yeah, maybe he made the right decision. Maybe he made the wrong decision. I don't know. And I don't think that you can truly sit here the day after he made it and say, you know what, he made the right decision. This will be a time will tell type of scenario for Rakeem Boyd.
Well, again, the training timeline to get ready for the combine would normally begin this week. You're already 2 weeks behind because of the COVID schedule. And if you get injured in December playing football, how does that affect your ability to be fully ready for the combine? I don't know the answer to that, and you don't either unless you knew what the injury was, and neither does Rakeem Boyd. Maybe that risk of injury in these final 2 games is just more than he can stomach, and that's why he is, air quotes, opted out, whatever you want to call it. Go to your boss today and say, hey, I'm opting out. See what they think it is. They won't think it's opting out. They'll think you're quitting your job, all right? Go to your wife and say, I'm opting out of our marriage. See what she thinks that is.
I'll ask for a hall pass. It's just a hall pass through the end of the year.
See how your wife thinks of the term opting out.
I don't think that will go over
I don't think it's going to fly. So, anyway, we got to also give some weight and some respect to the fact, Ty, that the calendar's just a little bit different this year.
I'm gonna text
and that's no fault of Rakeem Boyd's.
I'm going to text Mrs. Laura and say that Tommy said he's opting out of the marriage as of 8:49 on a Wednesday morning. All right, let's go to Bentonville.
Don't make her day.
Welcome in, Cody. Cody, you were on the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'll be quick. Hey, so I don't know if it's really people are trying to just beat him down, Ty. What I think it is I think you got a lot of people who are real close Razorback fans and they're passionate, and that's all we got. So we're watching all the media in the spring. We didn't have spring, but we saw the players talk a lot. And you can pull it up. Rakeem Boyd was talking about how he was going to do what Darren McFadden did here. He's going to wear number 5. He was going to be the best running back Arkansas had.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's happened is you got people that they don't dislike him. We love Rakeem Boyd. Thank you for what you did. But you got people who are extremely frustrated that
we're selfish, Cody. We're selfish. We think he can help us win. We want him. That's
right.
The bottom line.
Yeah, and hey, that's and I hope he goes to make millions of dollars, Tommy. But at the same time, if you're going to say something like that, you're going to wear number 5, and the biggest thing is you're going to lead freshmen and sophomores and lead by example with the C on your chest, and then you pull this. I think that's going to make a lot of people frustrated. They're going to look at it as quitting, and it is. But we love him, man, and I hope he does well. Hope he makes millions of dollars. But there's definitely reason to be frustrated. I think if you're going to wear number 5 and try to compare yourself to number 5, I think you need to back up those when you say something like that.
Captains don't quit. Do. Yeah, you're right.
Cody, and I'll appreciate your call this morning. I'll also say I asked him directly, Rakeem Boyd, has opting out ever entered your mind in the offseason and during the season? And he stated, no, it wasn't even on the table. Now, he's allowed to change his mind based on what was presented, but I asked him that very direct statement prior to the season beginning, and that's what he told us. So appreciate the call, Cody. All right,
why not just not play the last 2 games and stay with the team?
Last call of the morning, going to Waldron, welcoming in Mike. Mike, you got about a minute, buddy. Fire away.
Hey, thanks, guys. Real quick. Barry Foster, Sean Andrews, Rodney Clark, all the guys that left us. There's always a taint, kind of just a stigma with those guys. I hate it.
You remember it.
You do. Quick question, though. Did he not, I know guys can get insurance policies. Did he do that? Did he get an insurance policy in case he got injured? And just wondered how that would have affected his decision. Thanks.
I don't know the answer to that. Normally they call Lloyd's of London. Isn't that where you normally get those policies? But
no idea.
Mike's correct that if you have NFL aspirations, you can insure yourself, and that's commonly done. What Mike's asking about. I don't know whether Rakeem Boyd did that or not. I don't. I would assume he did seek some kind of insurance protection there. So that is a good question. I don't have the answer to that, Mike. I would assume he had it.
I remember seeing an article that Trevor Lawrence just got a fat payment plan or whatever you want to call it, because obviously he's going to go number 1 overall prior, like with the insurance.
Right, but he wouldn't get he wouldn't get a payment on that unless he wasn't being able to be drafted.
That's what I'm saying. Like if his career didn't pan out, if he got injured this season, we know he had to deal with COVID a little bit.
COVID probably wouldn't qualify under one of the reasons you would get paid.
I don't think so. We didn't get to What's Your Beef this morning because we had so much of the conversation directed on Rakeem Boyd. We talked about the game tonight, UT Arlington, 7:30 pregame.
I got to get a nap in today.
I know. Hey, you got the Pittsburgh and Ravens game.
Work nap. This is a work-oriented nap.
Yeah, so. Phil will be watching the Ravens and Steelers games. That's like 3:40.
3:40, and also tied in with those the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting too. So, not that y'all care about that, but that's just something else for you.
Okay, that's third on the list. Can we go ice skating too, Dad? We'll skate around the tree.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $200 million. So, what would you do if you won?
Oh, I would throw a joyous party, probably celebrate with the worst dance moves anybody's ever seen before.